Hi, my name is Melinda Parham, and I am taking this course in the fall of 2025. The purpose of this video recording is to discuss the different portions of the eye, different parts of the eye and their role. We're going to start with the cornea, which is the very front of the eye. It's transparent, and it's actually the protective layer of the eye. It is curved in nature, and it provides major refraction and focal strength when the light first enters the eye. After the cornea, we have our pupil. Our pupil is just like a dot. It's you can't touch it. It does become smaller and larger depending on the light in the environment. The iris is what is colored. So when you're looking at a person's eye or your own eye, you can see the color part is called the iris, and it actually contains the pupil, and it controls the amount of light by enlarging or minimizing the size of the pupil. And so between the pupil and the iris and the cornea, we have the aqueous humor, and that is the watery fluid that fills the anterior chamber of the eye and provides some of the nutrition for the surrounding parts. The canal of Schlemm is aqueous, so that's part of the aqueous humor, and it's from the anterior chamber that the fluid flows through the trabecular meshwork, and it travels to the canal of Schlemm, and it's delivered to the venous system of the body, and then we can look at the conjunctiva, and the conjunctiva is basically your eyelids, and so that's the best way to explain it. That's where your eyelids are, and it actually covers the sclera, and the sclera is the white part of your eye. That when we're looking at your eye, you see the white around the iris. If I can say it right, ciliary body is where the muscles are that control the lens. So you see the lens is behind the iris and the pupil. The lens will become flatter or become flatter and fatter depending on whether you're looking close or far away. And those ciliary muscles actually cause the lens to take shape. So there's your lens. So I discussed what the lens does. It's a secondary refraction because I said, remember that the cornea is the the primary refractor, and so the lens is a secondary one. And so when we're going back to the back half of the eye, because we talked about all the front part of the eye. Oh, one thing I do want to mention is the suspensory ligaments, and they actually are right here, and they connect the chrysalis lens to the ring of the muscles. So those ligaments connect the muscles to the lens. Okay. Now when we're looking at the back of the eye, we're going to look at the ora serrata, and that's the inner eye where the retina ends. So it's right here, because this whole thing is the retina that we see that's like spotted. So that's where it ends, is the ora serrata. So I want to make sure that you knew that. And then back here is the if I can say it right, the vitreous humor, because we had the aqueous humor up here, and so we have the vitreous humor right here. That is where most of the fluid of the eye is. It's behind the lens, though. And so looking right here, we talked about the sclera. That's the white part of our eye, and the choroid is where it's like the choroid is the layer between the retina and the sclera that has like the blood vessels that provide nutrients and nutrition to the retina. The retina contains the cones and rods, and so when light comes through the pupil, there's these photoreceptors, the rods and cones, that receive the light rays, and they convert the light rays into electrical impulses, and then relay the information through the optic nerve to the brain. Right here is the macula, so it's a thinned out area of the retina, and there's mostly cone receptors in there, and it provides high visual acuity. The fovea centralis, right here, is the central portion of the macula, so we're getting even more specific within the macula. It has highest concentration of cones, and it's only there that we have 20/20 vision. Right here is you're exiting the eye and going towards the brain. That we have our optic disc, and the optic disc is the head of the optic nerve where the ganglion cells exit, or axons, ganglion cell axons exit the eye, and there are no photoreceptors right there, so that would be considered a blind spot. And then we have our optic nerve. And our optic nerve is the bundle of fibers that carry the vision-related impulses that the cones and the rods were giving from the retina to the brain. And that is